Today is a good day. We're going to be installing the Banks iDash into my F150, the Platinum F150. Now, I was really debating getting several gauges, like a boost gauge, transmission temp gauge, EGT gauge, so quite a few different things I want to install on my truck. I thought about getting a gauge pillar, but my brother actually has the Data Monster version of this guy, which allows you to record. This is just an iDash, so it allows me to view and set parameters, but and I can clear engine codes. This thing does a lot. The hardest part was choosing where I wanted to install it. With just one gauge, I didn't want to do a whole A-pillar cluster of gauges just for this guy. It's gonna be a little too much information for my F-150. Something like the F-100, different story. I wouldn't mind having two of these displaying a whole lot of information. I can link a Data Monster and an iDash together and record all the information that comes off of both of them, which is freaking phenomenal. For something like the F100 that I'll be doing drag racing, road course racing, and whatever other shenanigans I could get into with it. For my F150, just giving me information while I drive and tow, giving my exhaust gas temperatures, giving me my transmission temperatures, and huge things I would love to freaking know while I'm driving. I highly recommend this guy. I am not sponsored by Banks. I am not sponsored by anyone. I just think this thing is flipping phenomenal. The amount of information it gives is astounding. And it's information that's already coming from your newer vehicles who have CAN bus or OBD2. If the vehicle has a sensor reading it, this is going to display it for you. Plus, I can clear engine codes. I can set RPM light for shift lights if I'm using it for like my F100. For racing, I can set warning lights to flash at me. I can change the color so it can match my instrument cluster and everything. Yeah, Banks knocked it out of the park with this guy. Let's just install the sucker. It took me a while to determine where I wanted to mount this gauge. Being that small, it's pretty easy, and they sell suction cup mounts, which I thought mounting right over here will be a good option on the gauge pillar, but then I got to change this whole pillar, which is not really that hard. I've done it before, but for a single gauge, I really didn't want to do that. If I had a triple gauge cluster, that would make more sense, but I don't need that with this. So I opted to go with this guy. Now this just sits right there. And from here, from my point of view, look at that, RPMs. Look how clean that looks. It looks so good. I can read it clear as day. No issues. Gauge layout. 4 gauges. Now from here I can choose what I want as far as gauges. I can leave the RPM, speed, exhaust gas temperature, load rating. I can leave all these, or I could change them. So I have infinite possibilities on this thing. I can set my min max for certain ratings, so I can get alerts if I'm going over so many RPM or speeds or anything like that. I got everything all set on the gauge. Everything looks good. It's reading good. So many options. I could play with this thing for days, but I opted to set the colors as close to what I can get for the F150, so it blends in well with the rest of my gauge cluster. Just need to wrap up the cable and glue this thing in place. It's tucked around back, so I can't see it from my point of view. It's just gonna get tucked down there. So now she's gone. From my point of view, I cannot see it at all. Plug down here, which it gets tucked in right there. Plugs here. I'm just gonna take this cable, excess cable, a couple zip ties, zip tie it up in here somewhere out of my way. Up in there, just out of the way from the connector. which which leaves nothing hanging down. From my point of view, this is how I view it driving down the road. See everything just fine. Doesn't cover up anything at all. It's working flawlessly. Thanks. As usual, killed it. Thank you, Gail. You're the man. You and your team are making awesome products. I opted to keep it low and tight on my instrument cluster, so that way, yeah, I'm good. I don't have people trying to see it, looking in, have a suction cup moment. I like to keep everything clean and open for everybody to see. For me to be able to see it, but not for the entire world. Somebody happy walking by and go, oh, he has a gauge there. I can take that. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. Mr. Banks, you happen to have a any other parts for a 2012 F150 EcoBoost, send them my way. I like to do a little bit of R&D, try them out. I like, you know, cold air intake, pedal monster, whatever you guys would like to send me. Be awesome. Appreciate it. You know, sponsorship, you know, all the things. Be awesome. But that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and do all the things. You know how it goes. Till next time. Peace. Should do a burnout with this thing.